John Scalzi, The Last Emperox. This is 313 pages and 25 chapters. It's the third book in the Collapsing Empire series. This is John Scalzi's most recent works. So that was pretty exciting after reading the Old Man's War series and Head On series. So yeah, this was really cool. And specifically, it's a trilogy, and this is the conclusion of it. If I had to sum it up, I'd say save yourself, save your friends, save everyone, pick two, and that's all you get, but in space. So that was kind of a long run-on sentence, but really that was kind of the theme is, the collapsing empire is happening like soon, like now. And Cardinia, the main character, is the Emperox. She's fended off multiple assassination attempts, coup attempts, politics, everything you could think of, people angling for her job, everything. And, there's this looming catastrophe and she's trying to save everyone. So her choices are really limited in who helps her and how she goes about it. So there's a lot of politics here. And again, it's space-based. There's some fun action and stuff like that. But for the most part, it is mainly politics. So if that's not something you're into, this won't be your cup of tea. Another book, another coup attempt. I mean, that's just part of this series. So was it successful this time? I don't know. You'll have to read and find out. So that was a good twist there. And some things I liked is they went into more detail about the guilds and their monopolies. So in the past, it was just like, hey, this guild has all this good stuff and they have a, monopoly on weapons or fruit or whatever it was. And there wasn't much in-depth info there. So I really like that. Also, House of Wu is the main one behind the line of Emperoxes. And yeah, really, they have a board of directors and all that. So that was cool seeing that. Even though it was very brief, it was still like, more than we got in the first two books. So that I enjoyed. There was an exile prison scene. The antagonist and Kiva both get exiled onto ships, and both become prisoners. And it's just like, that whole situation was awesome. And the revenge component that went with it, it was like a whole tie-in and stream that was really cool, really fun part of this book. In the Dalenasia system, in the previous book, when they visited what they thought was a dormant system, they found a few hundred Dalasians that survived, but also a ship with a living AI. I don't know how to describe it. An AI that seemed alive there. And so he seemed pretty cool, and he was royalty. He was a king in the systems before the rupture, before Earth got cut off. So he plays a big part in this story, and I thought he was pretty cool. He messed up, and he's had a lot of time to reflect and has changed his ways, or at least appears to. So I thought that was cool. I liked that this series started with a mutiny and it almost ends with it. So I really liked that. That was a nice turn of events there. Kiva, encouraging the crew of a smuggling ship to mutiny. So that was a lot of fun. I liked the reasonably open-ended ending. It leaves open, it doesn't just spell everything out. There's, some, imagination involved. And I did like that, at least in regards to Maris, Lord Maris. So that was cool. Things I didn't like, Kiva in the park scene, I just feel like if you have a bad guy that's that ruthless, like she would just, take everybody out, no prisoners, no holds bars. That just seemed like more what she was like. I get it that she wanted revenge and wanted her to suffer exactly what she suffered, but I just feel like at some point it's like, get him out of here. So that was how I pictured it, but it's not my story to tell. Mars and Cardinia's fight, it just felt off to me. Like, I could see both sides, but like going into it, I feel like both were working towards the greater good, and like, yeah, like they're both emotionally wrapped up in it, but I feel like they should have been able to like see past that, or at least put that aside and work on it. So I don't know. I get it. They had to have a relationship. They had to have a fight, but it just didn't seem like the right issue or the right time for me. But it's all good. I didn't tell the story. So again, politics, big thing in this, and it's not my favorite thing. Politics can be fun, but when it's all politics, it can get overwhelming. There were plenty of action scenes, so that wasn't a deal breaker for me, but it is something to note. There was a quote I really liked early on. They know that the empire is collapsing, and Kiva, whenever it says, whenever selfish humans encountered a wrenching, life-altering crisis, they embarked on a journey of 5 distinct stages: denial, 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 super denial. Oh boy, everything is terrible. Grab what you can and run. So this whole series is about the houses and the individuals within the guilds or the houses acting in their own self-interest, and they're going to be monopolizing, taking as much money as they can. Not really royalty, but like the kind of mercantile class. They're going to be making as much money as they can, and then protecting it, preserving it for their own self-interest. Of course, at the expense of the people they're making the money off of, the other houses and the general public. So the life after death solution that Cardinia came up with, that's all I'm going to say. It was really clever, really cool, lots of fun. Yeah, and I mean, Halloween's coming up, so it's almost in the spirit of Halloween. So I really enjoyed that. This is the conclusion to the Collapsing Empire series, and it's a good one. So remember to buy your books used.